This High Court case is one of the few that genuinely tick me off. A group of children were playing tag, chasing one another about. Barry Watson, a charming little character, was a child of 12, somewhat older than the other children. Earlier in the day, he had taken a short length of metal welding rod and sharpened it to prize oysters off the rocks. He still had the sharpened rod while playing tag. He took it out during the game and threw it at head height. He says he was trying to throw it at a pole set into the ground. It seems just as likely that he aimed it at another child, Susan McHale. It struck her in the eye, and she ultimately lost that eye. She sued. In negligence law, the duty of care which people owe to one another is that of the ordinary reasonable person. The court had to consider whether that standard changes for a child. The three majority judges found that the standard did change for a child and that the relevant standard was that of an ordinary, reasonable child of that age. Chief Justice McTiernan said, "There is ample authority for the proposition that in cases dealing with alleged contributory negligence on the part of young children, they are expected to exercise the degree of care one would expect not of the average reasonable man, but of a child of the same age and experience." On its own, this statement of the law is not particularly unreasonable. It does make sense to understand that children will have less understanding than adults of the harm they might cause to others. This is why we don't let them drive, for instance. However, the three majority judges then concluded that a reasonable 12-year-old would not understand the potential harm which might come from throwing the dart. Justice Menzies, who dissented, was the only judge who made any sense on this point. He said, "It appears to me that no boy of 12 could reasonably think that he could hurl a nail into a post. I would conclude that a reasonable boy would not throw a 3-inch piece of metal head high in the direction of another person." Unfortunately, the majority ruled, the appeal failed, and poor Susan McHale got no compensation for the harm she suffered from this little thug's ridiculous behaviour.